upgraded line cook chef knife. What do I mean by that? Well, watch the video and you'll find out. What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be doing an unboxing and knife review from a kitchen knife that was sent to me from Thailand. This knife was sent to me by, I believe it's pronounced Che Americano, and at the time of filming this video, I'm not sure if he's going to be getting me his 90-second intro in time.
สวัสดีผมชื่อเชจากเชียงใหม่ประเทศไทยผมเริ่มทำมีดในปี 2009 เริ่มจากการทำมีดปกติเช่นโบวีไนฟ์ฮันเตอร์ไนฟ์อินทริเกิลไนฟ์หรือแม้แต่คอมเพติชันไนฟ์ประมาณ 8 ปีที่แล้วผมเริ่มทำมีดครัวอย่างจริงจังผมติดตามคิชเช่นไนฟ์จาก YouTube Channel ผมเห็นแฟรงกี้รีวิวมีดครัวจากช่างทำมีดทั่วโลกผมส่งมีดให้กับแฟรงกี้เป็นกิลโตเวสเทิร์นสไตล์ AEB-L 240 มิลลิเมตรเป็นสแตนเลสที่ผมชอบมากรับคมง่ายเฉียบผมเจียด้ามให้เป็นเทเปอร์ด้ามเป็น G10 การจับถือมีดเล่มนี้ถือว่าเยี่ยมมากและผมยังทำเครื่องมือสำหรับช่างทำมีดตอนนี้มีไฟล์ไกด์สำหรับ Integral และ Professional White Knives ผู้สามารถติดตามผมได้ใน Instagram ชื่อว่า Che Knife and Tool
He sent me something quite unique, and when you see it you might think, well, that's not what you expected when I say unique. But, spoiler alert, it's basically a 2-ingredient knife. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into the unboxing, and right after that we're going to go straight into the knife demo because I do share some of my first impressions during the unboxing. Spoiler alert, Customs also decided they wanted to have fun with my new knife, so they decided to open the package before I had a chance to. So it was a little bit difficult for me to critique, say, the state of the box, because I'm not sure if something happened while it was in Customs care or beforehand. So without further ado, please enjoy the unboxing and food demo, and I'll see you soon. This is a super nice touch. Yeah, the day 2 doesn't need to be on the knife, but this is a super nice touch. I like the signature, like deets. Well done. It's beautifully constructed knife. Really in love with the splendid, overly bright orange G10 scales for the knife. Very long knife, but nice profile. Everything just feels really clean. Now, first impressions on this knife, I'm gonna say, and don't take this as an insult, Che, I'm actually saying this, I think it's a compliment, but this feels like your upgraded line cook's knife. So initially as a line cook, as I see often, people just get a bunch of shitty knives just to get through the job. They don't understand the value either of good quality tools. And then, you know, if you get something too flashy, I mean, this is flashy, but in a different way. If you get something too flashy, Damascus, something with really nice patina, hamon, someone's probably gonna steal it. But this feels like it's going to be a daily driver, especially being an AEB-L, which, as we know, is a steel with great edge resilience. Typically, because it's also a softer steel, it'll bend instead of chipping. But this seems to have all the right assets at the right place, including having a very nice choil, which is hard to see because of how long it is, so I'll just film some additional footage. Nice scales. Yeah, I thought I would like them beefier, but no, it fits great. My only gripe is when he initially hit me up with the price of $700 USD for this knife. Now, it is a long knife, but it's a monosteel. It's a readily available AEB-L steel. So at this point, this is kind of where worth is going to be different for everyone. If you have the money and you think that this is just a knife for you because you think it's just that sexy, it's the right length, it's the right profile, then by all means buy it. But we need to take a look first at the performance to see if it at least performs. If it doesn't perform and it's just good on the eyes, then 700 USD, in my opinion, is just very, very steep. It's true that a few weeks ago, months ago, maybe at this point, I put out a video factory made versus handmade when it comes to handmade kitchen knives, which this is. Essentially, the artists, the knifesmiths, can put whatever price they want. But it will be more restrictive if when people look at a knife that looks this simple, if they don't see the value. That's the key word, value, and then worth is just personal. It's how deep is someone's pocket. Love the 2 rivets in the scales. And yeah, I can't wait to use this knife. I have a feeling I'm going to treat it just like a line cook would. I'm probably going to do some stress tests on this. Why? Because it's the type of knife that when I look at it, that's just what it invokes. It's like, please, baby, stress me out. So we will. Thanks for sending this, Che. Great looking blade, that's for sure. Very nice cutting performance. Nice weight driving through the onion. Surprisingly thin behind the edge with excellent bite. Nice. That would have / should have been a very difficult piece to cut, but this knife made easy work of that. Nice, easy work is something that's typically very sticky and high in water content. Now this is what I believe a large knife such as this is capable of. That is what we call easy peasy, ladies and gentlemen. I stand by my initial assessment. This just really feels like an awesome elevated lines cook chef knife. Alright, so you've now seen the unboxing and you've seen the knife demo. What do you think? That's right, I'm posing you the question. A little moment of silence, what do you think? Now, here's the thing. In my first impressions, you heard me talk about the price. I really don't want to obsess over the price, but it's a little difficult not to. Because at the end of the day, yes, though steel is a composite, let's just simplify it. This is a 2-ingredient knife. AEB-L steel and G10. Now, had this knife been something like Monosteel, Mammoth Molar, I could justify the price point. Let's try again. Apex Ultra, Royal Ebony. Sure. But this kind of goes back to my whole argument of worth versus value. First of all, is this a good looking knife? Honestly, to me, it absolutely is. It strikes a very delicate balance of looking just as you'd expect for, say, a line cook chef's knife, simplicity, but yet there's these little features that just make it feel a bit more posh, like the contouring of the G10 scales, and as well as it being super bright, so being a bit of a fashion statement. I'm not saying that justifies the price, but I'm trying to see the pros. In terms of the grind, fit, and finish, everything really is excellent. I'm a big fan of the lateral grinding type finish as well, as opposed to the vertical. In terms of how it performed, you saw it. Honestly, this is a fantastic knife. For being a 2-ingredient knife, he did really, really well. So why do I keep focusing on price? Well, easy. Because it's about the only difference, and this is personal, between me liking the knife, wanting the knife, and then being able to comfortably afford and justify the knife. And all we have to do is look behind me to try to justify what I value and what to me is worth it in terms of that price point. So in terms of Canadian, say this kind of amounts to roughly 1,000 Canadian. This was about 1,000 Canadian with a custom handle. This is a Fujiwara Denka 210mm Gyuto. This Giro, also completely made by hand, very limited quantity. This 240 Giro Gyuto was just a little over $1,000 Canadian. One of the knives that has the best onboard performance from one of the world-renowned Japanese smiths, Yoshikazu Tanaka. This one was less than 1,000 Canadian, say maybe 850, but I think you get the point, right? It's a worth versus value argument, and I don't want to take away from the worth of the knife. It was incredibly fun to use. But here in my hand, you can see I'm kind of holding 4 knives that are honestly around the same price point. Some of them would cost more because of reputation, because of FOMO, right? That's kind of what you're looking at here. Knives like this is truly because of almost reputation alone and the fact that they're incredibly high performers. But people know that, and that's what's led into the reputation of Teruyasu Fujiwara Denka being his most prized line. This is a knife from Hado and Sakai, where we know they pay equal attention to the unboxing experience and not just fit and finish and performance. It's the whole package, and this one, in fact, was under $1,000 Canadian, and so some might argue that they would rather buy this Hado, being a 210 Gyuto, when compared to this 210 Denka Gyuto, and that's really a question of personal choice. And so this is too a question of personal choice, but I still find the price a little difficult to acknowledge. Now, if your pockets are that deep that when you see a chef's knife like this, when you see these super bright orange scales, your heart just starts pumping, and your pockets are deep, by all means, I 100% think you should buy this knife, because it is worth it, because it is a good performer, because so far it has great edge retention. But you see where I'm going with this, you see where I'm struggling to talk about anything but the price. I had so much fun with this knife. It's a super reliable knife. It's the upgraded line cook's chef's knife. At the end of the day, price aside, because I am able to look past the price, a kitchen knife can also be art. And Che essentially mastered the simplicity of this kitchen knife. And not only is it art, but this is functional art. So aside from the condition of the way the box arrived, because that could be Duty's fault, I wasn't of course a fan of the paperclip. I do wish that this was fitted a little bit more securely within the box, but the knife performed really well, and I am a big fan of its simplicity. And if I don't think of the price, I'm gonna be picking up this knife a lot because it's a great performer. It's a knife that has nice edge resiliency. It's a knife that's very sturdy for doing things like sweep cutting, where I would never dare do that with my Hado. Even my Giro, like the edge on this knife is really bendy, nail flexing thin. Denka, I can probably get away with it, especially on a good cutting board. But a knife like this, no problem, and I'm still getting the job done. And I'm getting it done in an effective way. I'm getting it done with a knife that is a performer, not just a dull edge that's rock sweeping. And I did really enjoy using this knife. That is also equally important, and people forget about this all the time. Was it fun for you to use the knife? For me, it was. So who is this knife for? I guess, honestly, at the end of this is where I'm struggling. And my answer could only be anything other than it is for someone who loves this profile, who loves a good performing knife, who likes a simple looking knife with a little bit of flair, and whose pockets are deep. Because if we talk about G10 scales and AEB-L steel, it's really difficult to justify the price other than there's a very large margin of profit. But that's completely up to Che. So sorry, Che, I know I kind of beat this point into the ground. Other than that, you guys saw the knife perform, so, let's focus on, did we like it? You don't necessarily need to buy it. If you enjoyed this video and you enjoyed me using this knife, then please like and subscribe. Hit that bell button so you're always up to date with my videos. And otherwise, thank you so much, Che. I really do hope you sell a lot of these, and I'll see you guys next time.